Morning, hockey fans, and welcome to today's Team Midwest broadcast in Sarnia, Canada. Team Midwest is taking on, so I'm not sure who they're taking on. Team in red, the Devils. We're in a nice, beautiful arena, the Sarnia Sings home arena. With beautiful sight lines and even better broadcasting spots. Looks like we'll get Redmond out with Bort and Baumgart to start the game. Puck played back behind West Carl in net. Harn battles for it there. Played up the near boards. Blocked in front by Brenneman. He'll work it out to neutral ice. Played back out to center ice. Baumgart takes it away. Wheel to the far side. Plays it up to the red line. Taken away. Now it's Bort. Carries it into the zone. Helped out by Brenneman. We'll have to find out who we're playing so I can say their name a couple times. Peacock out now. Played back into the Midwest zone. Henkel in the corner. Chips it up to Heacock. Heacock throws it out to neutral ice. Through center ice. Taken away by Lau. Now knocked out to center by Heacock. Henkel into the attacking zone. Shot. Saved by the goaltender. Loose puck. Corralled. Heacock takes a stab at it. Like Canadian boy. Shows him where the boards are located. Puck's down. Midwest holds it in at the blue line. That's Buchan chasing behind the net. Played out the near side. Back behind the net of Carl. It's blocked out in front. Knocked back behind the zone of the visiting team. Name I'm looking up right now. Out through the middle. Got him in back. Forces him wide. Sent through the middle. Picked up by Buchan. It's chipped ahead. That's Paulson. Loses it in the slot. Still battles for it there. Fired wide. The Duffield Devils. There we go. Arn's got it now. Brady plays it around behind the net. Off to Crawford. Crawford back over to Harn. Harn out of the near side. Tries to send it ahead. It's tipped up there. Paulson back to get it. Plays it ahead to Crawford. Crawford into the zone. Drags it towards the center. Knocked off the puck. Dumped back in by Brady. Back behind the net. Couldn't be finished. Harn over to Brady. Shot. Saved by the Devils goalie, and he'll hold on for a whistle. We'll get Jimmer out with Darvin and Cervantes. They're backed by Donovan and Lau. Puck's down. Devils have it. Play it back behind their net. Into the corner. Cervantes with a big hit. Sent up through the air. Glove down by Jimmer. Now played out to the far side. They'll work around Lau. Nice poke check by Donovan. Played back to the slot. taken away. Donovan now at the far side, plays it ahead. Takes a weird camera off the ref. Cervantes tries to get it in. It's knocked away. Devils will force it into their own zone. Knocked out the puck there by Garvin. Battle along the boards. Devils send it back behind the net of Carl. Donovan tries to play it up. It's knocked down. Now it's Lau. Advances out to neutral ice. Into the zone. Takes a shot. Fired wide. Seeing off to the far side. Picked up by the Devils. They'll work it out to center ice. Nice back check there by Baumgart. Devils go through the center. It's poked off his stick by Buchan. Buchan carries it into the zone, works it to the middle. It's knocked off his stick, knocked back to neutral ice. Orange got it there in his own blue line. It's caught up in his skates. Devils force it into the zone. Buchan plays it back out to the Devils' defensive zone. They'll go D to D in their own zone and send it forward. Chipped over the head of Buchan. Carl will cover for a whistle. Already somewhat of a chippy game. Team Midwest has gone 0-2 in the first 2 games of this tournament, looking to get their first win. Tournament in for the faceoff, won by the Devils. Back to the blue line. Shot, blocked in front. Tarn in the corner. Works it back up the far side. Played ahead to Baumgart. Rolls off his stick. Buchan fires it at Board's head. He ducks out of the way, and it goes into the zone. Wrapped around the far side by the Devils. They'll peel it off the boards and send it out to neutral ice. Into the attacking zone they come. Harn forces them wide. Back to the point. Shot on net, saved by Carl. Now back behind the net. Buchan battles the puck there. Takes it away. Sends it through the air out to neutral ice. Bouncing puck. All the way to the Devils zone. Tries to catch the Midwest in a change. Buchan back. He'll circle behind Carl's net. Off to Brady. Back to Buchan. Down to the goal line. The Devils have it. Through the slot. Poke loose. Still in the high slot area. Now taken away by Heacock, and he'll chip it ahead to Buchan. Full head of steam into the zone. Fires a shot high and wide. Carries all the way back to the far side where Lau dumps it back in. And Team Midwest player tagged it for offsides. .8:53 left in the first period. Devils play it out through center ice. And adjust the camera, get the bottom side of it. Of course, now I forced it out of the play. There it comes. Tied up just in front of the penalty box. Good look at Mike Hurd's head. Played back behind Carl. He'll cover for a whistle. Lemke out for the faceoff. Won by Team Midwest, and they'll try to get out of the zone. Just held in by the Devils. Lemke battles for it on the board. Chips it ahead. Crawford will send it into the zone. No ice. Paulson chases it down before the end wall. Devils out through center ice into the attacking zone. Donovan knocks it away back behind the net. They'll cycle it back to the corner. Now back to the blue line. Taken away by Paulson. Gets it ahead to Crawford. Crawford gets it tangled up in skates. Now played out to center ice, 2-1. Nice back check by Crawford. Donovan forces him wide. Shot in the slot, saved by Carl. Collected by Harn. He'll wheel it the other way. Into the attacking zone, 3-on-2 if they hurry. Harn shot, saved. Bouncing puck. Dumps over the stick of Polson. And the Devils goalie will hold on for a whistle. So I did say I wasn't going to look at the standings until after this game. I lied. The Devils are 1-1. The goal differential of +1. Looks like they lost their first game 5-7 and won their second 4-1. Devils win the faceoff. They'll play it back behind the net. Knocked loose there by Garvin in the corner. Battles for it. Loses an edge. They'll play it up the near side. Buchan knocks it off the board. Sent to Jimmer. Play it out to the far side. And that'll go for an ice. Looks like it's a 3 o'clock game. We're playing the London Junior Knights. They are also 0-2, so let's get through this one first, though. Puck's down, controlled by the Devils. Saved by Carl. We'll get Bobgard, Bort, and Redeman into the faceoff. Devils fire a shot high and wide. Up into the netting. Cameraman looking to throw the puck back in. Puck's down. Swept away by Bort. They'll chase it down into the defensive zone. Now played up to the center ice. Redeman has it there. Taken away from him. Forced into the defensive zone. Bort back behind the net. Wraps around to the near side. They'll play it around Buchan. Down to the corner. Fired out into the slot. Nice save by Carl. Fed up ahead. Henkels chips it out to center ice. They'll go D to D. Buchan takes it away. They'll drive it back into the zone. He's got Baumgart on the far side. Shot saved by the Devils goaltender. Brady late to the game. Holds it in the zone. Dodges a big check in the corner. Devils will work it out the near side now. Up through center ice. Chipped into the zone. Donovan back to get it. Oh, go behind Carl's net. Played up to Bort. Sent through the middle. Taken away by the Devils. Now it's Buchan forcing it ahead. Down the boards. Taken away at the blue line. And the Devils counter punch. Into the zone with some speed. Carl kicks it to the corner. Work down to the corner now. Back behind the net. Devils control. Works it up the far side. Taken away there by Henkel. Alex has got it now. Sends it out. Bouncing puck. Gonna stop short of icing. Devils working up the near side. Cut across the center ice. Got a little head of speed. Shot. Fired wide of the net. Now Buchan plays it ahead. Peacock presses the issue. It's saucered over him. D to D. Harn's got it. Off the referee's head. Paulson now across the red line. Peacock shot into the chest of the goaltender. We'll get a whistle. 4:34 left in the first period. Still scoreless. Puck's down. Throw by the Devils in the corner. They'll play it behind their own net. Crawford knocks it loose in the far corner. Taken back away by the Devils. Throw out the Paulson in the slot. Had an opportunity. Couldn't quite get the shot off. Now it's Lemke in the boards. Fires it towards the net. Saved by the Devils goaltender. Pucks it down. Controlled by Team in West. Fired in by Crawford. Rebound. Goal! Crawford got the first shot in. Quality shot on net. Goaltender couldn't quite hold on to his rebound, and it looks like it was Lemke that buried it away. So it's 4:13 in the first period. Team in West out to a 1-0 lead. Pucks down. Lemke takes the faceoff. Crawford into the zone. Fires into the defenseman's shin guards. Paulson will work it down the boards to the corner. Back behind the net. Devils have it. Knocked away by Crawford. Still battle for it on the boards. Now kicked out to the far side. Devils in the attacking zone. The Harn will force him to the corner. Played up ahead. Held in at the blue line by the Devils. Shot. Saved by Carl. Holds on to it. We got some fresh legs out there. Looks like we got Brady and Lau back on D. Jimmer, Cervantes, and Garvin. Garvin to the draw. Won by the Devils. They'll send it past their own man. Back at their blue line now. Played back out to neutral ice. 2-on-2 the other way. Brady with a nice defensive play. Knocks it off the stick. Now Lau battles for it. Out to neutral ice. It's back in. Cervantes now down the boards. Chips it back behind the net. Played back out. Devils with the big cross-ice pass. Dump back behind the net. Karam's over to the far side. Jimmer's there. Knocked loose. Played back to the blue line. Devils force it down low. Brady makes a stop there. Oh, it's Lau, I'm sorry. Lau knocked to the ice completely unnecessarily. Fired in from the blue line. Gloved down by Carl. Puck's down, controlled by the Devils. Shot fired wide of the net. Karam's over to the far side. Baumgart over to get it. Presses up against the boards. Devils will control on the half wall. Set down to the corner. Now back to the corner. Cross ice pass. Shot. Saved by Carl. Knocked out in front though. Just off the skid of Harm behind the net. He'll wrap it around the boards. All the way out to center ice. Goes the length for icing. With just 2 minutes and 2 seconds left in the first period. Team in West still up 1-0. Brenneman in for the draw. Back to the Devils' point. They'll send it down behind the net of Carl. Right out the far side. Devils chip it up in the air. In the corner now. Work it back behind the net. Bounces off a stick there. Donovan forces it up the boards. Ford battles for it there. Hand pass. It's odd that you can hear the ref in the sellout crowd arena. We'll get Buchan, Heacock, and Henkel out at forward. Buchan and Lau back at D. Jackson Heacock chases it over in front of the board or in front of the bench. It's forced into the Devils' defensive zone. They'll go D to D and force it up the near side. Knocked away at the blue line. Buchan will battle for it and send it back towards the Devils net. Now played ahead. Into the zone. Henkel knocks it loose. Gets it ahead to Buchan. Chips it off the boards. Met some resistance there. Offsides is the call. Puck's down. Midwest forces into the zone. The Devils have it now. They'll go deep to their own defensive zone. Send up through center ice. That'll be an icing. Offensive zone face-off for Team Midwest to the left of the goaltender. Buchan to the draw for the white and black. Puck's down. Back to Heacock. Heacock dumps it to the corner. Back behind the net it goes. They play it out to the far side. Off the board. Sent out through neutral ice. That was offsides. Get the fresh bodies out there with 55 seconds left. Puck's down. Controlled by the Devils. Shot blocked in front by Buchan. Lau battle sorted in the corner now. Devils will try and send it out to center ice. Nice takeaway there by Buchan. He'll play it up the boards. Gets it ahead of Paulson. Devils goaltender will play it up. Turned over there. They can back away. The Devils send it into the attacking zone. That was not offside, sir. You get Crawford, Lemke, and Paulson out. One by the Devils. They'll get it back to their D. Brady plays it ahead to Lemke. Lemke chips in the zone. They'll play it back behind their own net. Now forced out the far side. Crawford takes it away, plays it back to Brady. Bouncing puck gets away from him. Just 8 seconds left on the clock. They'll control it behind their own net. Forced out the far side. And that'll do it on the first period. So after one, we've got to score 1-0 in favor of Team Midwest. Take a little break. Talk about strategy. Why it always snows in Canada, even though they say it doesn't. Is goalie's name Bell? That would be so much easier than saying the Devils goalie. Doesn't have the rosters on the website. What a bunch of bullshit. Carl heads back to his net. Garvin out for the faceoff. He's got Cervantes and Jemmer with him. And we're underway. The Devils win the faceoff. Send it into the zone. Buchan back to get it out of the corner. Loses it there. Back behind the net. Kicked out in front. Loose puck. Devils still battle for it. Sent in front. Saved by Carl. Tries the wraparound. Another big save by Carl. Devils from the bad angle. Saved by Carl. Loose puck. Squirts out in front. collected by Cervantes, and Hill send it to length. Devils circle back behind their own net. Come out the far side. They'll send it up through the middle. Gloved in by Buchan on the wrong side of the blue line, and that'll get us an icing call. We'll get bomb guard. Sorry, I had a brain fart there for a second. Right up the near side. Devils will carry it into their zone. Whoa! Yeah, you think? Charge. Apparently in Canada they call that a blindside hit. Is that just a 2-minute penalty? No, is it called that checking from behind? Welcome to Canada. Puck's down. Team Midwest on the first power play of the game. Just a 2-minute penalty, it looks like. Paulson back behind the net. Runs into some resistance. Devils have it. They'll work it out through center ice. Through their skates. Crawford back to get it. Can't quite get a handle on it. Devils now back through the middle. Still working it in the corner. Is that Lemke? Lemke walks it. Brenneman taken away by the Devils. Poked back away by Crawford. Lemke sends it cross ice to Borat. Borat over to Lemke. You know he was out there somewhere. Wrapped around. Olsen tries to send it through the middle. Brings the Devils on a breakaway. Shot saved by Carl. Lemke's got it now, just in front of the benches. Carries it into the attacking zone. Drops it out there for Brenneman. Brenneman circles behind the net. It's knocked off the puck temporarily, regains it. Wheels it back to the blue line, drops it out there for Paulson. Paulson plays it down low to Borat. Borat works up to the faceoff dot, gives it off to Harn. Harn sends it back down to Borat. Borat from the corner, back to Harn. Harn just inside the blue line, plays it back down to Borat. Now sent through the middle, over the stick of Buchan. He gets it over to Harn with a little difficulty. Harn up the boards to Borat. Can't quite get a stick on it. This is not the greatest looking power play I've seen this weekend. Played back in the zone. Harn's got it there. 18 seconds on the power play that we didn't get a shot off on. Into the zone it comes. Wrapped around behind the board. Buchan pulls it off. Plays it back to Harn. Harn back up to Buchan. Cross ice pass. Jumps over the stick of the other Buchan. They sprung the man out of the boards. Knocked back into the zone. Midwest tags up. Played up ahead. Touch, so no icing. Carl's got it behind his own net. Wraps it hard around the boards. Up to the blue line. Henkel spins it out to neutral ice. The Devils will counter inside the zone. Big cross ice pass. Shot. Saved by Carl. Holds on for a whistle. 11:36 left in the second period. See if we can get the camera down a little bit. It tends to creep up. And then it gets mad at me because I don't leave it where it can see the play. That's nice. Devils win the faceoff. Shot fired wide of Carl's net. Kicks around to the near boards. The Devils have it there. They'll spin it down to the corner. Back to the blue line. They'll go D to D. Tops of the circle. Shot. Nice. Saved by Carl out in front. Back to the corner now. Brenneman battles for it there. Squirts off his stick. Top of the circle. Shot. Blocked in front. Brenneman battles for it in the corner. Lyle comes in to help it out. We'll try and walk around in the wrap. Doesn't work. Played back behind the net. Lyle's got it there. Played up the boards. Pinched in there. Now back behind the boards again. I'll circle it to the far side, taken away temporarily. Devils have it on the far boards. Wheels back towards the corner, tries to play it back behind the net. Bad angle shot. There we go. Picked up by Baumgart. He'll send it towards the net. Devils have it. Long stretch pass to the far blue line. Chips it into the zone. Carl goes back to get it. He'll leave it there for Donovan. Played up to Henkel. Henkel tries the backhand out of the zone. Devils steal. Fire it across the ice. Chipped over the net of Carl. Henkel now in the corner. Again, backhands it up. This time it makes it to center ice. Buchan with a nice steal. That's not how that works. That wasn't offsides in the United States or Canada. That's what Buchan just told them. That wasn't offsides. So we'll get Buchan out there with the Dubuque boys. Puck's down, controlled by the Devils. D in their own zone. Fed up the boards. Bouncing puck. Sent to the corner, through the face-off dot. Down to the goal line, the Devils have it. Played back behind the net. They'll work it to the far side. Played back to the D. Shot fired. Wide of the net. Karam's over. Devils have it on the half wall. They'll drive it down. Glove down by Henkel. Tries to stretch past the Heacock. Jackson just not that fast this early in the morning. .4:28 left in the second period. Tiedemann West still holding a 1-0 lead. We'll get Lemke out there with Crawford and Cervantes, it looks like. No, that's not Cervantes. That's Spolson. Devils have it. Play it down to the corner. Off the crossbar. Up out of play. Lemke in for the draw. Played to the boards. We'll try and chip it around him. 2-on-1 the other way. We got Polson and Crawford. Crawford. Oh, couldn't get a shot off. A little too fancy. Lemke from the boards. Gets it over to Polson. Polson shot blocked in front. Wrapped around behind the boards. The Devils will pull it off the far wall. Knocked out to center ice. That was interference. That's head contact. Game's quickly spiraling out of control. Played ahead. Crawford will take it into the zone. Tops of the circles. Tries to send it across. Shot saved by the goaltender. Here comes some discussion. I'm sure it's the internal debate whether Tim Hortons is better than Starbucks. Team manager Jessica Hurd is in favor of Tim Hortons. Puck's down. Devils will play behind the net. Try and work it out the near side. Long stretch pass. Also good for icing. 8:15 left in the second? That doesn't seem right. I swear that clock was shorter a minute ago. Maybe not. Puck's down. Where is the time? Devils control it behind the net. Again, long stretch pass. Again, in the United States we call that icing. Apparently in Canada it's called the play. Garvin in for the draw. He's got Cervantes out there with Jimmer. I'm sure I said at least one, if not all three of those names wrong. Played around to the far side. Donovan will try and hold it in on the front of the bench. Chipped up ahead. Cervantes carries it into the zone, 1-on-4. Terrible numbers. Played back. The Devils will work it through neutral ice. Wow, gets steamrolled. Sent to the slot. Saved by Carl. 7:42 left in the second. West Carl coming up big for Team Midwest. Puck's down. Controlled by the Devils. They'll work it to the slot.
Hey, 1 second right now for 40 seconds to play.
14 minor head contact. Head contact usually means someone gets a bonus penalty. Again, apparently that's a United States thing. So we'll get Buchan and Henkel out to kill the penalty. Puck's down. Team Midwest will send it out to neutral ice. Devils back to collect it in their own defensive zone. Played out the far side. Knocked into the zone. Buchan takes a big hit there from behind. Trying to walk it up the boards. Henkel forces it out to center ice. Henkel with a little bit of an edge. He's got Lemke in the middle. Whoa, Nelly. Sent through. Devils goaltender will hold on for a whistle. Paulson and Lemke out to kill the penalty now. Bouncing puck controlled by the Devils. They'll work it back behind their own net. Cross ice pass. Into the zone it comes. Play back to the blue line. The Devils have it there. Work down to the top of the circle. Shot. Saved by Carl. Devils will work it back to the blue line again. Now to the top of the circles. Sent through the middle, and that's a goal. Snuck under the pads of Carl, and we got a 1-1 game. 6:31 left in the second period. Puck's down, controlled by the Devils in their own defensive zone. Chipped out to the red line. Baumgart will try and send it in the zone, taken away by the Devils, and they'll counter the other way. Wow, put the big hit in. Squirts down to the corner. Brady will chase it there behind his own net. Wrapped onto the far side to Borat. Borat out to the blue line. Held in by the Devils. Brenneman forces the shot wide. Devils pick it up, work it out of the corner. A little bit of momentum change here. Team Midwest needs to put the stops to that. Nice cover by Carl. Get some fresh lines out. Hart and Buchan back on D. Looks like we'll get Heacock, Henkel, and Donovan. So I had the wrong Buchan out there. To me. Puck's down. Devils have it. Fired towards the net. Kicked to the side by Carl. Heacock picks it up. Works up the boards. Gets it ahead to Buchan. Now Henkel forces it wide. Played back to the Devils defensive zone. They'll go D to D. Chipped ahead. They'll knock it to center ice. Fed to the far side, tops of the circle. Shot fired towards the net. Knocked away by Donovan. Fans on a pass. Now fed over to the far side. Jumps over a stick. Peacock takes a run after he chips the puck into the bench. Wrapped around to the boards. Can't be held on the blue line. Henkel will press the issue all the way back to the defensive zone. They'll go D to D. Now sent back up, chipped into the zone. Donovan knocks it down, sends it over to Harn. Harn can't quite control it. The Devils will drive it down the boards into the corner. Thrown out in front, nobody home there. All the way back to the blue line. The Devils just hold it in. Thrown down to the corner now. Played back behind the net. They'll try and set up shop there. Back to the blue line. Fan on a shot. Buchan's got it. Gets it out of the zone. Pestered the whole way. Definitely a momentum change there. Henkel tries to send it towards the net. This puck is blocked. Wrapped around. Held in just inside the blue line. Dumped back on net. Saved by the Devils goaltender. They'll throw it back out to the middle. Can't connect in the pass. West Carl wraps it around the boards. That's Polson. Tries to throw it up. Knocked down by the Devils. Top of the circle. High slot now. Locked in front. Brady plays it out to the side. Knocked back to the corner. Back to the corner. Wrapped around to the faceoff. Got loose in front. Sent through the middle. Carl falls on it for the save. And the 74 refs in the stands all have an opinion. It's like Buchan's going to spend some quality time thinking about his actions. 2 minutes roughing. So with 3:48 in a 1-1 game, Midwest will be shorthanded. We'll get Crawford and Lemke out. Backed by. So it looks like Crawford's going to play a little D here. Devils win the faceoff. They'll get it back to the blue line. Go D to D. Works it to the near boards. Crawford wins the race there. Tries to chip it out. Pinned against the wall there. Now we get it out to center ice. All the way back to the Devils' defensive zone. They'll wind it up from behind their own net. Played in front of the Midwest bench. Knocked away by Polson. We'll cycle back. Go D to D. Now played ahead. Harn knocks it off his stick. Loose puck carries back in. Crawford fires it into the Devils bench. Doesn't look like anyone took it personally. I would have. But that Crawford's a nice kid. Sure he didn't mean to do it. Get the other Buchan out with Alex Henkel. Puck's down, controlled by the Devils. Thrown out in front. Crawford steals it, chips it ahead. Henkel's got it just outside the blue line, taken away by the Devils. They'll go D to D in front of their own bench. Now carried into the zone. Shot from the high slot, fired wide. Played on the half wall, chipped back to the D. Now they'll walk into the tops of the circles. Out in front, redirected. Carl makes a couple big saves. Enough to keep it out. Buchan will work it out. Buchan is leading the Midwest League in shorthanded goals. Here's one here right now. Down to the corner it goes. Right behind the net. They'll kick it out to the tops of the circles. Throw it to the other side, off the boards. Work down low behind the net. Fed back to the tops of the circle. Shots. Glove save by West Carl. Just 16 seconds left on the power play. 2 minutes left in the second period. Pucks down. Brenneman battles for it there. It's wrapped around behind the net by the Devils. They'll fire it out to their point. D to D. Works it to the middle of the ice. Now fed back to the tops of the circles. Back to the blue line. Shot blocked in front. Top of the circles again. Thrown to the slot. Misses the net. Thrown back. Carl with the save. Now knocked back behind the goal line. Played out. Baumgart's in. He'll rush it up 2-on-1. Gets it over to Bort. Into the zone. Bort shot. Loose puck in front. Sean with a goal. Nice play, boys. Just as the penalty expired, the Ames boys cash in and make it a 2-1 game. So 1:27 left in the second period now. Devils win the faceoff, and they'll send it back through the middle. That'll break your momentum up a little bit. Jimmer's got it, gets it ahead, just out of the reach of Cervantes. Into the zone it goes. The Devils will try and play it out. Takes a weird bounce off the boards. Carries all the way back to Harn. He'll play it back off the boards too. Devils working down the boards. Force it to the slot. Fired wide. Jimmer plays it up. Held in at the blue line. There we go. Knocked off a stick. Top of the circles. Fired into the gut of a teammate. Out to the zone. Drop pass there. Top of the circle. So work it down to the goal line. Sent through the middle. Fired in. Blocked in front. Loose puck. Loose in the crease. One of the coaches on the Devils team said one of the 7 words you can't say on television. Very loud in this packed arena. Lemke in for the draw. Well, that wasn't the way it was supposed to go. 32 seconds left in the second period. Puck down. Played back to the point. Shot. Tipped in front. Kicked wide. Now back to the boards. Olsen gets it out to neutral ice. Devils will work it back out to the center. Taken away by Lemke. He kicks it forward. Sent the length of the ice. No icing for some unknown reason. Lau in the corner takes a big wallpaper hit. Business is picking up. Lau shakes the cobwebs loose. That'll do it in the second period. Some discussion again about Tim Hortons and Starbucks. After 2, the score is 2-1. Take a break, clean the ice, grab some coffee. See you back in 20 minutes. Back underway here in the third period. Played down to the Midwest defensive zone. Devils will battle for it in the corner. Walks away from it, fires it towards the net. Ice is slippery out there. Harn plays it up the boards. Knocked down by the Devils. They'll drive it back down. Back behind Carl's net. Buchan pokes it loose. Ice is slippery down there in the corner. Sent towards the net. Saved by Carl. Not quite cleared. Now fired back to the corner. Buchan over to get it. Tries to work it up the boards. It's knocked away by the Devils. They'll wheel it down. Give him below the goal line. Fired on Carl. He'll save it. High and wide. Karams all the way over to the Midwest bench. Buchan flips it ahead. Can't connect with Brenneman. Baumgart chases it down. Battles for it back behind the net. Devils spin away with it. Now Henkel forces the puck high and wide. Devils wheel it through center ice. Knocked loose by Lau. Baumgart will send it ahead. Henkel will chase it down. They'll play it back out to the red line. Brady chips it in. Jackson Heacock full head of steam. Plays it back behind the net. Oh, chip just over the stick of Alex Henkel. Oh, my camera's high again. See if we can force it down just a little bit. There we go. Back behind the net. Henkel will send it around the boards. Board holds it in. Works it back down to the goal line. Covered by the Devils goaltender. 13-23 in a 2-1 game. Henkel to the draw. Set back. Fired on net by Lau. Nice save. Holds on again. Jackson Heacock gets a good introduction to the goaltender. Henkel back to the draw. Back behind the net. Devils will try and bring it up the near side. Henkel just wings him on a hit. Played all the way back. Lau to get it out of the corner. Back behind the net. Taken away by the Devils. Tries to wrap it around. Couldn't connect in front. Henkel now up. Sends it out of the zone. That'll be icing. 13 minutes left. Midwest up 2-1. We'll get Crawford, Polson, and if I could identify those Kansas City centers, I'd be so ahead of the game. Played out to center ice. 32 is Brenneman. Empty. 50-50. That's a hand pass. That's a hand pass. Puck back in front of the Devils bench. Lemke in to take it. Puck down, sent forward. Crawford's got it just inside the blue line. Top of the circle, shot, loose in front. Oh, nice save. Nice save by the Devils goaltender. Lemke to the dot. Bouncing puck. One back to Crawford. Crawford gets it back to Donovan, who dumps it around the boards. Lemke's, notice he was favoring his knees, hobbling a little bit. The adrenaline kicks in, and he hits it overdrive. Devils out of the zone, out to neutral ice. Chips it ahead. Carl dove for it and didn't quite get it. Played ahead. Crawford will try and run it down. The Devils have it. They'll peel it back to their own defensive zone. D2D now sent up in front of the Midwest bench. Carried into the zone. That looked a little offside-ish. Shot fired up into the net. For a whistle. We'll get Garvin, Cervantes, and Jimmer. They're backed by Lau and Buchan. Put up the boards, top of the circle. Devils walking down the boards. Sent towards the net, blocked away by Buchan temporarily. Wheeled in the corner. Pass back to the blue line. Can't quite hold it in. Leaks all the way the length of the ice. Jimmer will run it down and make life difficult for the Devils. Played it around Cervantes. Now back down to him. Cervantes kicks it over to Jimmer. Top of the shot, or top of the circles is blocked. TGD behind the goal line. Long stretch pass, knocked down at center ice. Shot is tipped up into the netting for a whistle. 11:27 left in the third. 2-1 in favor of the Midwest. Puck's down. Knocked out to center ice by Buchan. Played back out to the neutral zone. Fed ahead by the other Buchan. Back in the slot. Devils will hit the stretch pass. Chip it on the wrong side of the red. It's still an icing. Stripes wrapped around by Carl. Pulled off the boards by the Devils. They'll battle for it in the corner. Sent back behind the net. Buchan plays it up the boards. Out to the blue line. Held in there. Chip back down the wall. Buchan tries to fire it up. It's taken away by the red. Went for the hit instead of the puck. Ooh. Leaked through the zone. Now back to the blue line. Shot. Cannoned in. Saved by Carl. We'll get Henkel, Peacock, and Borat out there. Wrapped around to the near side. Peacock works it loose. Now it's worked back down the boards. Played back around to the point. Chip it around Peacock again. Oh, Borat comes in. Still can't force it out. Devils will work it back to the blue line. Dump back down to the corner. Brady's got a man pinned in. They'll try and work it back behind the net. Borat finally works loose, finds some space. Sends it up the ice. Ahead of Henkel. It's not going to get there. We'll get some fresh legs out of Polson, Crawford, and Lemke. So much easier to tell which one it is when I can read the name on the back. Puck down, into the corner it goes. Lau plays it around. Kick down there. Crawford has it in the corner, plays it back behind the net. The Devils take it away there in the far corner. They'll work it up the boards. A lot of possession here for the Devils. Fired through the crease. Carries all the way out to center ice. Paulson will race it down. Devils control, loose puck. Crawford knocks it towards the net. Bouncing puck, still loose in the slot. Sent through. Batted away by the Devils goaltender. Kicks it back to Crawford behind the net. That might be Paulson. No, it was Crawford. Bouncing puck, Karam's out. Devils control, and they'll wheel it back towards the defensive zone. Paulson battles for it. Looking like some tired legs out there. 9 minutes left in the third period. Need to sustain this. Arn battles for it on the boards. It's sent down to the corner. Lemke goes to get it behind the net. He battles the Devils player all the way to the far side. They'll wheel away from him, back behind the net now. Tries to send it out. Blocked there. Scooped up, bad angle shot. Karam's out to the near side. Crawford sends it through the air out to center ice. Paulson walks around one. Got an angle on the net. Finds another one. Oh, just misses. Bad angle shot by Crawford. Hits the side. The Devils will work it out to the far side of the ice. Works it up the boards. Chips it by Brady. All the way back. Buchan will collect it behind the goal line on the end wall. Reverses field. Goes back up the other side. Plays it ahead. Can't quite get it to Jimmer. Back to the end wall. Behind Carl's net. They'll play it back out. Sent ahead. Garvin can't quite get there. Devils go D to D in their own zone. Chipped ahead. That'll be an icing. Tip. Then it's a high stick. Loose in front. Bouncy puck in the slot. Saved by Carl. To the far corner it goes. Cervantes picks it up. He'll send it out to neutral ice. Gets it ahead to Jimmer. Down to the corner. Cervantes battles for it. Knocked to the ice. Puck's underneath him. Scooped up by Garvin. Now he'll battle for it in the corner. And he's knocked to the ice. Devils out through the neutral zone. 2-on-1 with a little speed. Offsides. That will not please the Devils coaching staff. Book it in for the draw. Puck's down. He sends it forward. Devils in their own zone. I'll send it back out to neutral ice. Taken away by Buchan. Blows a wheel. Just inside the zone. The Devils are trying to send it towards the net. It's blocked away by Baumgart. Back behind the net. The Devils have it. Fed out to the tops of the circle. Shot. Gloved down by Carl. With 6:49 left in the third period. Team Midwest still holding on to a 2-1 lead. Devils have been on full press here. Be nice to see Midwest break their back with another goal. Played ahead, 2-on-1. We got Brennan and Buchan. Sent through the middle. The pass was blocked. Now played back out to neutral ice. Donovan's got it in his own defensive zone. Goes D to D over to Harn. Harn backhands it out of the zone. Picked up by Brenneman. He'll advance it into the attacking zone. Poked off his stick. They'll chip it around Buchan too. Devils now retreat into their own defensive zone. Cross ice pass. They'll advance it with some speed. High slot area. It's knocked away. Boric there. Chips it out of the zone. Oh, hell, just in. Buchan now. Fired into the corner. Henkel back to get it. Bouncing puck knocked down there. All the way back up to center ice. Wow, chases it back. He'll collect it on the end wall. Rolls off his stick. Sent right through the middle. Heacock chips it ahead. Glove down at the blue line. Now Heacock has it knocked off his stick. 2-on-1 the other way. Shot fired high and wide. Karam's off to the boards. Fired in. Glove down by Carl. Loose in front though. Still loose in the slot. Now it's backhanded out. We'll get an icing out of this. Lemke? Lemke. Damn it. Yeah, it was Lemke. Put up the boards. Crawford sends it across to Paulson. Paulson 1-on-1 into the zone. Hits the brakes to the top of the circles. Walks it to the high slot. Backhanded pass over to Lemke. Shot blocked. Comes back. Wow, with a nice save. The glove's down. 5:08 left in the third period. Little momentum shift heading Team Midwest way. Louis Crawford out there with Paulson and Lemke. Lau and Buchan back on defense. Puck's down. Taken away by the Devils. They'll advance it to neutral ice. 2-on-1 the other way with a couple back checkers. Nice save by Carl. Knocked back behind the net. Worked around to the near side. They'll play it back to the blue line. Fed back down low. Worked down to the goal line. Knocked away. Shot. Blockered away by Carl. Into the corner, the Devils have it. Played back to the blue line. Now back down to the wall. Save in front by Carl. Took a nice whack. And we'll get Garvin out for the faceoff. Back to the blue line, jumps over a stick and works all the way back to the Devils' defensive zone. They'll reverse it and try and throw it up the near boards. Kicked out to center ice. Full head of speed, they'll work it into the zone. Fired on net, saved by Carl. He'll hold on for a whistle. 4:22 left in the third. Garvin back to the draw. One back to the Devils D. Taken away by Garvin. He'll just chip it out of the zone. Didn't quite make it to the red line, though. Ooh, didn't play it enough for an icing. Devils will work it to the far corner. Cuts back across. Nice pass over there on the D. Stretch pass up to the blue line. Knocked away. Carl will cover it for a whistle. Down to 4 minutes. We'll get Brenneman out with Baumgart and Buchan. Killer Bees. Puck's down. Buchan gets a little fancy in the corner. He's got it there. Tries to play it up. Still battles for the corner. They'll wrap it around to the near side. Devils have it. Try and send it on net. It's blocked. Karam's over to the far boards. Buchan chips it out to set neutral ice. Hand pass. Hand pass. I don't know that that's what I'd call that, but I have a mic, they have a whistle. So the face-off to come just in front of the Devils bench. Ankle to take it. Won by the Devils. They'll get it back to their D. Ankle with the steal. He's got a step. Shot. Blockered wide. Ankle in the corner. Absorbs the hit. Played into the ref skates. Now it's Boric. Gets it back to the point. Buchan's shot is blocked. Now fired in. Loose puck. Karam's off to the side. Devils will chip it over. Jumping Alex Henkel. Donovan back behind the net. Wraps around to the far side. Forced out by Bort. He'll carry it across the red line. Dumps it into the zone. Catches the Devils goalie just a little off guard. Has to make a awkward save. Now it's back out to neutral ice. Forces him wide. Puck Karam's back behind Carl's net. Kicked out to the near side. Heacock can't quite reach it to get it out. Bort pins it up against the board. Heacock's got it. Backhands it out to center ice. It's knocked down there by the Devils. Paulson, he's tricky. Fires a shot just high and wide. Gets by everyone in front of the Devils bench. Now we're down to 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third period. Played into the zone by the Devils. Shot saved by Carl. Expected timeout here from the Devils. We don't get one. 2:15 left in the second period. Face off to the left of Carl. Battle for on the boards there by Harn. Kicked around to the far side. Paulson battles for it. Now back to Ken Lau in the corner. Try and play it around the boards. Battle on the boards for Lau and three other players. Now the Devils walk away. Get it to the slot. Poked loose there. Kicked off to the boards. Right to the middle. Shot fired wide. Nice defense there by Lemke. Battle on the boards. Devils walk away with it. Down to the goal line. 6 man's on the ice for the Devils. Loose out in front. Carl covers it. Everybody hit somebody. Great job of controlling the play, refs. West Carl wisely slides out. I have a feeling the game's over for a couple players here. .134 left in the third. Caden Lau heads to the bench or the box for Team Midwest. Just 2 players in the box after all that. All right, if you say so. Offsetting roughing penalties, 5-on-5. .134 left in the third period. Timeout red. So, second game today is at 2 o'clock Midwest time, 3 o'clock local time. We'll face the London Junior Knights, who to this point are winless. Midwest in position to pick up their first win of the tournament. As long as I didn't just jinx it. I think the Devils coach is asking for a misconduct. Well, now he's gotten off of his bench, so he's going to politely ask for a misconduct. I think the problem is we're probably running close to the time limit. It's 9:30 local time. You get an hour and a half for a game. I think it's going to be running clock for the last minute 30. Coach is saying, if you told me that, I wouldn't have called a timeout. But keep talking about it because that's just using more time. Could be arguing over the faceoff location. I'm not sure why it's the length. Minute 30 left. Oh, we finish this game. So an additional penalty was assessed, and that's why the faceoff is the length. Roughing. So when the refs got together during the timeout and discussed what happened, they added an additional 2-minute penalty. Team Midwest on the power play. Last 48 or minute 28. Devils sneaking a man behind the play. Loose in front. Nice defensive play. That's in the net. Pretty sure that was in the net. I have a mic, they have a whistle. Good Polson out there with Lemke board on the far side. Puck down. Back to Crawford. He'll get it over to Brenneman at the blue line. Dumped on net. Tipped away there. Devils will send it out. Gets by Crawford. Going to the ice. Devils will pull their goalie. Crawford sends it around the back of the net to Brenneman. Brenneman chips up the boards. Held up the blue line by the Devils. Fired on net. Wide. Board on the far side, tries to get it out, it's knocked back down. Controlled there. Crawford back behind the net, can't quite get all of it. It's fed back to the other side. Board left. He'll send it down. Glove down by Paulson at the red line. Spins away from one. Diving puck by the Devils. They'll control it. Tries to feed it back up. Sent back in. Harn back to get it. Harn plays it out. Held in at the top of the circles. Devils send it on net. Blocked in front. Now Karam's back behind the net. Send out in front. Loose puck. Foul holds on. 13 seconds left in the third period. We'll get Buchan, Harn, Henkel, Crawford, and another Buchan. Henkel into the faceoff. One back to the Devils' point. Blocked in front by Henkel. Set in front, again blocked. Henkel tips it the length of the ice. 5 seconds left. That'll do it. The Team Midwest earns its first win here in the Silver Stick Tournament with a 2-1 victory over the Devils. Like I said, next game is at 2 p.m. Midwest time. Back in the other rink, so the broadcasting conditions are terrible. But we hope to see you there. I'm Xander's Dead. You can find a rink, you can find a friend.